Wow, I've been reading this book, Fahrenheit 451. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, what an experience. There's a lot of deep meaning in here.
Animals especially.
I think that's something really interesting to talk about.
Well, you know what that means.
Hello everyone, welcome to Smash Class with Emily and Gargi. We are here to talk about animals in Fahrenheit 451 by Bradbury.
Animals are important symbols in the book. One of the first ones we encounter is the salamander.
The salamanders on the firemen's hats, and the firemen call the fire truck salamanders. The salamander has come to represent firemen themselves.
Ancient people believed that salamanders can live in fire unaffected, but this use is ironic, as Montag is strongly affected by fire. By the end of the book, he sees fire as destructive and does not want to burn books. Beatty, the captain of the firemen, is burned alive as well. The firemen are clearly not as fireproof as myths would suggest.
Hey Gargi, did you hear about the fire at the circus? It was intense. Well, another prominent instance of animal symbolism in this book is a snake-eye machine that is used to revive Mildred after she overdoses on sleeping pills.
The machine is compared to a black cobra, which is generally seen as a scary and dangerous animal. It is ironic that the machine that restores life is compared to a deadly cobra.
Bradbury uses this comparison to symbolize the depersonalization of the society. Even medical treatment has been automated.
One of the most well-known symbols in Fahrenheit 451 is the mechanical hound. It is first introduced to the reader when Montag goes to the firehouse. Montag tries to pet the hound, but it growls at him. Eventually, the hound is unleashed to hunt down Montag himself.
The hound represents how nature is twisted and how society uses technology to penalize people who do not follow the rules. It is also ironic how dogs are supposed to be a man's best friend, but in this book, the hound is killing humans rather than protecting them.
In our own society, dogs are cute and friendly, but the mechanical hound is anything but that. It is something out of a nightmare with a metal body, 8 spidery legs, glowing eye bulbs, and needles that inject lethal amounts of chemicals.
Nature has been corrupted into a disturbing perversion of a dog.
Speaking of dogs, why did the snowman call his dog Frost?
Why?
Because Frost bites.
Haha.
Anyways, in the final pages of Fahrenheit 451, Granger talks about the phoenix to Montag. The phoenix is a mythical creature that every once in a while burns up and rises from the ashes.
Phoenix symbolizes rebirth, and in this book specifically, the rebirth of humankind. Montag and his book buddies can work to renew society.
However, unlike the phoenix, mankind does not lose knowledge from past experiences when it starts again. Granger's speech about the phoenix emphasizes the importance that people must remember past mistakes in order to avoid grand catastrophes like the society in this book.
The portrayal of animals throughout this book lead us to believe that this society is mostly technological and mechanical, with no nature. Furthermore, animals are shown to be evil, representing death and destruction through machines, and are primarily seen as a negative symbol.
However, towards the end, Montag sees a nice deer, which is the only instance that animals are portrayed positively. This occurs once Montag leaves the bad society.
Once Montag has escaped from the technologically corrupted city and re-entered nature, animals are no longer evil bringers of death and destruction. In contrast to the creepy auras of the salamander, the snake-like machine, and the mechanical hound, the phoenix represents civilization's ability to restart and rebuild.
Animal imagery and symbolism is used constantly throughout Fahrenheit 451, and they help the reader fully understand the perversion of the book's society. The mechanization of nature has removed the personal and happy feelings we associate with animals.
Well, thanks for tuning in to this episode of Smash Class.
We had an enlightening discussion about animals in Fahrenheit 451 by Bradbury.
We hope that this helped you better understand animal symbolism in this book and their meaning and significance.
The next episode will be never. Adios!